Ever heard of a ghost that cleans up after itself? Today, we're journeying to Mountain Village 1890, a historic reconstruction in the Ozarks, to uncover the chilling tale of Dr. Timothy Tuttle. His old office, tucked away in the back of the bank building, is said to be one of the most haunted spots in the village. But this isn't your typical ghost story with slamming doors and shadowy figures. Dr. Tuttle's spirit communicates in far more unsettling ways. Dr. Tuttle was a circuit-riding physician in the late 1800s. He traveled on horseback through the rugged mountains, treating patients wherever he could. This small office was his home base. Imagine the medical practices of that time. Sanitation was a new concept, and infections were often a death sentence. The office still houses his original medical tools, and they look, well, let's just say they look like they belong in a horror movie. These very instruments are at the center of the most famous paranormal report associated with the doctor. Paranormal investigators were conducting a study in the office. They set up a camera to take a series of photos of Dr. Tuttle's medical kit. To the naked eye, the tools were old but perfectly clean. But when they reviewed the photographs, they were stunned. In one frame, the instruments were clean. In the next, they were suddenly and inexplicably covered in what looked like fresh blood. Then, in the very next shot, they were pristine again. It was as if the ghost of Dr. Tuttle had performed a spectral surgery right before their eyes. And then, like a tidy professional, cleaned his tools afterward. There was no explanation. The room was sealed, and no one had entered or touched the display. This visual anomaly is just one piece of the puzzle. Visitors and staff frequently report other strange occurrences. One of the most common is the sudden, overpowering smell of old-timey medicine. One moment you're breathing in the musty air of a historic building, and the next, your nostrils are filled with the sharp, clean scent of medicinal alcohol or antiseptic. Sometimes it's a sweeter smell, like vanilla, which was a common ingredient in tonics and remedies back then. These phantom odors appear out of nowhere and vanish just as quickly, with no physical source to be found. It's as if the doctor is still mixing his potions, the scents lingering in the air like an olfactory echo from the past. And then there are the sounds. When the office is completely empty and silent, people have heard the faint, distinct noises of life carrying on as if it were still the 19th century. The subtle creak of a wooden drawer being pulled open, followed by a gentle push to close it. The soft, metallic clinking of instruments being sorted or laid out on a tray. These aren't loud, jump-scare noises. They're quiet, ambient sounds that create a deeply eerie feeling that you are not alone, that you are sharing the room with a spirit who is still going about his daily work, forever bound to his practice. Some believe that the immense pain and suffering that took place within these walls have left a permanent mark, a form of residual energy that replays past events. Dr. Tuttle would have seen countless patients here, many of whom likely succumbed to their illnesses or the crude medical procedures of the day. The emotional residue of these traumatic events, combined with the doctor's own dedication to his work, could be the source of these supernatural occurrences. He wasn't a malevolent figure, but a hard-working physician whose spirit is so tied to his profession that he continues his rounds over a century after his death. Today, Dr. Tuttle's office is a highlight of the village's haunted history tours. Investigators bring EF meters, spirit boxes, and all sorts of modern ghost hunting gear, hoping to make contact. They often get spikes on their equipment, particularly around the display of medical tools. Whether it's the residual energy of past tragedies or the intelligent spirit of Dr. Tuttle himself, something undeniably strange resides in that small back room. So if you ever find yourself in the Ozarks and smell a sudden whiff of antiseptic, you might just be in the presence of the good doctor, still making his rounds. Thanks for joining me on this dive into the paranormal. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next spooky adventure. See you next time.